What's poppin', everybody? This is Sabro54, and today I'm going to show you guys my updated Metal Magnezone deck. Magnezone from Ultra Prism. It's going to rotate out. We won't be having it for too long, but for as long as we do have it, Magnetic Circuit is an excellent ability, letting you attach metal energies from your hand to any of your Pokemon on the field, whether in the active position, on the bench, and they don't even have to be metal Pokemon. It can be any Pokemon too. So it's much better than Frostmoth, much more flexible, but of course it's a stage 2, so it's a bit more difficult to get out. Since it's Magnezone though, and since it's Metal Energy Acceleration, and I really like Magnezone as a Pokemon, I've always used this card ever since it came out, and now we get to update it with some other cool cards. So the line is going to be, as usual, you got 3 Magnezone here, 4 might be too much. You got one of the Magnetons. I don't really like this one. I mean, it's got decent HP for a stage 1, I guess, and it's got RAM, but I don't like that it has 2 retreat cost. Zap Cannon, I guess you can always use that too. But this is the stage 1. We don't have much of a choice anyway. The other ones around are even worse. And for the basic, you gotta have this Magnemite from Ultra Prism with solid unit. At least you know that if this Magnemite is on the bench, is safe from spread tactics and just attacks on the bench. It's still going to get effect damage like Spell Tag and Zigzagoon, Scoop Up and stuff, but at least you know you're safe when it comes to regular attacks and spread. Anyway, so 4 of these, 1 Magneton, 3 Magnezone. Now the new addition in this deck, or one of the new additions, is this Zacian V. Of course, everybody knows this card is excellent because of Intemperate Sword, but it works even better in this deck. This card actually, both this and Magnezone, they complement each other nicely. Since this guy is a metal Pokemon, it means that if you get Magnezone out, you can easily power up his Brave Blade attack and do 230. So that's obviously excellent. It's 220 HP metal Pokemon, so in many ways is better than Duskmane and Crossmage GX, which I took out, of course, in this new build. This guy does more damage, and it's got more HP. It doesn't have a GX attack, but that Interpret Sword just goes a long way in this deck. Now in the beginning, in decks like these, you don't really attack or make any meaningful attacks. You're trying to get your Magnezone out and get your real energy acceleration and get your big attacks going. So since you're not attacking and you're trying to set up, that Interpret Sword ability is just extremely helpful. It's like a mini tropical beach, you could say. And even if you get a few metal energies on this guy and you don't draw as many cards, of course it's still good. So obviously these guys are going to work nice together. Now I only have 1. Normally you would want to have at least 2. 3 might be too much, but 1 is too little. I just have 1 though, so that's why there's only 1 here. But maybe you can take another Pokemon out and put 2 if you have to. This is why I didn't show this deck in the beginning, is because I didn't have this guy, and now that I got him, I can at least try this deck out and just show it. We still have the Dialga GX as the other sort of win condition attacker. This guy is just amazing. I always use this card in this deck, and I just really like it. Its HP is quite low for today, being just 180 and given 2 prizes, but it makes up for it for 3 excellent attacks. We are using this guy for Timeless GX. It's the main reason this guy is in here, because if you use this Timeless GX attack, it's pretty much almost like a win condition or a small win condition. Regardless of the game state, you're just never going to lose by using this attack. You always have to gain. I mean, you get to use this attack, you get to play again, obviously. If you have like license, if you have boss's orders, let's say you used the supporter on the previous turn, you use Timeless GX, you get boss's orders, you can use that guy. You can reuse the Mach Coronet 2 times with this. It's just so many busted stuff you can do by just skipping your opponent's turn. It's not going to be easy to pull off, needing 5 energies, and 150 isn't like super high damage these days either, but just being able to skip your opponent's turn, it's just too good to pass up. Overclock is very good too, letting you draw until you have 6 if you start with this guy and you don't have Zacian, so that's great. And Shred is also another very good attack. I like attacks like these that go through effects. You never know what they're going to be handy, so just all of these guys' attacks, all three attacks are excellent. Now, in every game, you do want to eventually try and get this Timeless GX attack off. So it's amazing. Okay, so that's the Alga GX. I think I did go over the line of Magnezone, right? Did I? I don't know, but you do have the Magnemite, 4 of these with solid unit. Just prevent all attacks and spread while this guy's on the bench. So you get a little bit of safety here. Your opponent can still use Zigzagoon, Galarian Zigzagoon, and just damage through effects like that. But at least you have a little bit of defense from just regular damage. Magneton here with Ram, 1 for 20, and then you can do Zap Cannon, 3 for 80. It is alright. It's not like we have any other better options for Magnetons. I think this guy's the best one. I don't like his 2 retreat cost, but from what I've seen, the other ones are just worse. So you run this guy. And 3 Magnezone for the magnetic circuit, of course. Just 3. This is how I usually run the line. You don't want to go overboard. Now, we still have Solgaleo, the Prism here. It's just an excellent card. There's no reason not to run in a deck like this. It's got high HP, just regular basic. His Virus Impact attack can do 160 for 4, and it's very good damage for 4 energies. And Radiant Star is always handy as an early attack, like if you dump a few energies and you open with this guy, or if you use this mid-game to just power up a bunch of different Pokemon. It's just an excellent Prism Pokemon. Why not run it if you have it? There's no reason not to run it. Okay. And then I put in this Duraludon too. This is another new addition. So this guy is basically the replacement for the Metal Heatran that did 130 for 3. This guy only does 110 for 3, so it's much weaker. That extra damage Heatran did get some significant KOs, like another Pokemon with this guy's HP. But you don't discard energies, and you also have Metal Sharpener, so I can start doing 30 for 1 if I open with this guy, and maybe get some metal energies from the discard pile. So this is why I decided to run it. It's got the same HP. It's got a better first attack, and its second attack, it's almost the same as Heatran's 1. It also doesn't discard energies, so what the hell. I think this guy's better, so that's why I'm running him. Okay. And the rest of the stuff is, I guess well, I do have the text in here. I got Kramer V and Double V. These guys are excellent, but if you did have, like if I did have another Zacian V, I would have to sacrifice, one of these guys, or just take something else out to put 2 Zacians. I get by with one of these just nicely, but I think 2 just makes more sense if it's going to be a Zacian V Magnezone deck. But anyway, Double V, of course, is an excellent revenge Pokemon. If your opponent gets a few prizes, Revenge Blast does heavy damage, and then a Soft Wool gives him some excellent defense. Is a colorless Pokemon, gives you a little bit of variety, and you can easily power it up with Magnezone, of course. Kramer V is a sniper, and is also a good early Pokemon with Big Catch. And we have a lot of Pokemon that are actually good opening Pokemon, which is something that's quite good for this deck, I would say. But Spit Shot is the main reason for this Pokemon, Sniper. So that's why I'm running it. Killing those Dedenne GXs and then getting those 2 prizes, it's too sweet to pass up. That's why it's in here. But it's player preference at the end of the day. You could easily put Eevee, Snorlax, Tag Team GX. You can put some other Pokemon if you wanted to. But I have these guys for now. And then for support, gotta have the 1 Dedenne GX and 1 Eldegoss V2 with Happy Match via Seeker on foot, pretty much. Alright, and for the trainers, got some typical stuff you gotta have, like the rare candy to get the Magnezone out. You max out the Quick Ball to just search out your Magnemites and other Pokemon too. If you dump a few metal energies in the early game, is okay. Especially since we have Duraludon and Solgaleo, we can get them back that way. We've got Mount Coronet too, so Quick Ball, you have to run it either way. We don't have any other good ball card or Pokemon searching card. I got one Cherish Ball here. This is just for the Dene and Dialga too. If you have other GXs too, like if you put, I guess, Duskmane across him if you still want to run him, or just run something else, you have a few more targets. I just run it. If worse comes to worse, we can just discard it later on if we can't use it or if it's dead. But in the early game, like if I can search the Dene or Dialga, is good enough. I got a little bit of energy searching. Energy Spinner is not as good as Professor's Letter. I would take Professor's Letter any day of the week, but it's good. If we play second, which we aim to play second in this deck, is excellent, letting you search 3 metal energies. So it is good, and we do need that energy searching in this deck. God Evolution and sets one of these to search out the Magnezone. Basically that's it, nothing else, just the Magnezone. Forgot my usual techs. In a Tool Scrapper, 2 of these. Maybe you could drop 1, but I do 2 because that's just the kind of person I am. But you can drop 1 if you like and just use another consistency card, or just put in the Zacian and keep both of these guys in. Wouldn't be bad. Double Switch is kind of important. We do have a lot of big retreat Pokemon, and I'm not running Air Balloon, so Double Switch is good. The Ordinary Rod, this is Pokemon Recovery, recover to the deck, and Energy Recovery too, which is important. Now, we do need in a deck like this some energy recovery options, heavy duty energy recovery options. The Rod isn't going to be enough. Naturally, our main source of that is going to be Malcore Net. This is energy retrieval in the form of a stadium, so it's just excellent like that, having a counter stadium and an energy recovery card in one. You don't want to just slap this on the field when you're not going to use it. You want to at least put it and get the plus, get the 2 metal energies from the discard pile. So at least if your opponent gets rid of it, you got a few energies back. So you need to use this wisely. You can't just slap it on the field. I do 3. I was never a fan of 4. In the early days of this deck, a lot of people just max this out. It's not a good idea because it means you're going to discard a bunch of them for nothing. It means that you can't get that energy recovery, that quadruple energy recovery, like if you use energy retrieval too, which we'll get to. Remember, it's once per turn, so you don't want to have it be dead in hand. So 3, I think, is the correct number as a counter stadium. And if there wasn't really a need for a counter stadium so much, I would even go with 2, to be honest. But 3 is the right number. Now, like I mentioned, we do still have 1 regular energy retrieval. This is an item, so I can use this on the same turn I use Malcore Net. This is why it's important, in my opinion. Get 2 basic energies from your discard pile into your hand. Energy recovery, this is how we want it. And I do have the Fisherman too. This is a supporter, but I do like having him as a supporter too. Like, you get 4, you get a large amount. And you can use Eldegoss V to get this guy back or reuse him again. So you have that interaction too, which is awesome. So 1 Fisherman, I usually like to run him, so I still do. And basically that's it for the energy recovery. It's just these options, and they should be enough. I mean, to be honest, besides Cramorant V, we don't discard energies on our attacks, like with Duskmane, Necrozma, Heatran, and other Pokemon. It's just going to be that you're going to be retreating and losing energies that way, and maybe you're going to discard a few in the beginning. So I think these resources should be enough. But if you want to try something different, it's always up to you at the end of the day. Okay, now on to the rest of the supporters, I guess. I mentioned the Fisherman. You max out the Cynthia. You got to have the 1 Eriga, great card. Double Magnolia, excellent drawing. Got 1 Marnie and 1 Skyla too. And then in this deck, I do like to run the 1 Jasmine. So this card, if you play second and it's your first turn, it allows you to get a bunch of metal Pokemon at once. So you're going to fill your bench with the Magnemites you need, with the Zacian you need, just everybody else. And it's just really good. It's an excellent card. At the worst case scenario, just if you can't get that amazing plus on your first turn, if you play second, then you can just grab like a Magnezone. So I guess it's another way to search Magnezone besides the Incense. You can get like Zacian V, get any metal Pokemon. So I guess it's okay. It is a one card at the end of the day. It's not like I'm running a playset. So even if you don't get that plus, it's a decent little supporter to get you a 1-for-1 if you need it. If not, you can always just discard it. Or just don't use it. But I really do like it. It really gives you that great advantage. And since it's Jasmine, why not run it? Alright. And then one boss's orders for the last supporter. And you might reuse them with Eldegoss V, of course. So this is basically the deck. All that's left is just the energies. You gotta have metal energies. I got 11 metal energies in this case. And I did decide to try the one capture energy here. Obviously this isn't compatible with Magnezone, but it's another way for us to get a search, like search out the Zacian or just search out a Magnemite on the field. You do have a lot of Pokemon that won't be able to make use of this if you attach it. Like this guy can't use him. This guy can't use it. And okay, the other guys, they can use it. Like this guy can use it. These guys can sure as hell use it. And even this guy. So it's not like it's a shit energy, but you know, sometimes you'll wish it was another metal energy. But getting some good early basic Pokemon fetching is important. So that's why it's in here. One copy is enough. Oh my god, my breath. But this is the deck, guys. Obviously, I'm going to show you guys some matches that I usually use. Usually show. I can't even talk. It looks cool on paper, but it is going to be sometimes difficult to set up properly. Even with this guy, you need a lot of stuff to make it work. And this guy, of course, his GX attack is not as simple to use as Arceus, where you just need 2, and you've got a busted GX attack over there. But it is going to be very good, and it is going to give you an excellent advantage. Anytime you get this attack off, you always have something to gain. So it's awesome. Okay, and this is basically the appeal of this deck. Zacian V, powering him up in a different way. Dialga GX, and just powering up the other tech Pokemon easily through Magnezone. Some of the matchups against metal weak Pokemon. Obviously, you're gonna be good, but I can't really think of anybody that's weak to metal. Lapras isn't, so there aren't really any big metal Pokemon you're gonna take advantage through the weakness. But maybe I'm forgetting something. I guess you can hit fairies, maybe. Yeah. Fire will give you a problem, but you've got your tech attackers to help with that. And either way, I mean, this guy would die in one shot against Reshiram Charizard GX, so it doesn't really matter. And you can dish out as heavy damage as they do, so it makes the weakness not as relevant. And then everything else, it's all about if you can set up consistently, if you're going to be good against them. And this deck definitely wants to play second, always. You've got the chance with Jasmine, you've got energy spinners, you can get the plus off. You've got a lot of Pokemon that have great early attacks. You got B-Catch with Cramorant, you got this guy with Overclock, you've got Duraludon, you've got this dude as well. You just have a lot of different options. So if you play second, I think it's the best for this deck. Plus, you don't have to worry about seeing Dedenne. You can use supporters as normal. Alright, so this is the deck. I'm going to show you guys matches next. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys subscribe. Leave a like. Share this video with your friends. Sabro54. Wasai.